Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. So in this video we'll continue our RunBase series. So now what we'll do in this video, we will actually create a dialog. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll create a dialog box, and inside that dialog box we are going to create a lookup. Okay, and now whatever value we'll select, we are going to display that. Okay, so let's write the code, then you will be able to understand. So I will simply add a runnable class, else I will need to create a menu item and everything, and the video will get longer. Okay, so here I can say RunBase lookup example. Okay, I will simply add this. Yeah, so if you have seen the last video, so what we were doing, we were using a filter, right? So now this time we'll create a dialog here with the same customer group, and we'll select a particular value. So if you will use the customer group EDT, you will not get lookup directly. So we'll get a lookup, we'll select that value, and then for that particular record, this is going to run. So for that, we'll use dialog and everything. So the first thing, as usual, I'm going to remove this extra comment that is not needed here, and I'm going to extend my RunBase here. So I can say extend RunBaseBatch. Alright. So the first thing that I will do is I will write the boiler code that we were doing. Now the first thing is that I will create a variable here named as cust group ID, and I'm going to define this variable at my global level. And the next thing that I will do is I will create a normal construct method here, and I will do all those modifications. So let me create a construct class first. I can say public static construct, and then name of my class, that is RunBaseLookup, and I can simply return a new instance here, RunBaseLookup. That's it. And now here I can write my that code, RunBaseLookup. I can define as object. I will say RunBaseLookup, and I will simply call my construct method now. Okay, so guys, let me cut this. Let me save this. So I will say here, let me try again, or let me save it first. Now I'll try it again. Why this RunBase is not coming here? Let me copy it and put it something like this. Now let me save this. Okay, it's not giving error, and it's working properly. So now I can say my object.prompt function, and then I will simply call my main run method, where I'll be writing my actual code. Now let's go back to our run method, and I can say public void run, and here I will simply, so what I want to do, I want to simply display my data, right? So I can say cust group, I can say here cust group. Yeah, now I will need to do modification here, or what I can do, if the user is selecting a particular customer group, I will display all the account number for that particular cust group. So let me define here cust table. I'll say cust table, and I can use my while loop here, while select cust table. So where your cust table dot cust group will be equals to I have to find a global cust group ID in the beginning of this video, right? So that's why I've used it here. So I will compare this, and then I can use my info str fmt, and here I can display my account num. So I will say cust table dot account num. I will close this. Okay, so we are done with the boiler piece of code. Now we'll write code for our actual dialog field. So I will come down here. Okay. So I can say public object. The return type would be object, and the method is dialog. And inside this, we'll create a dialog here. I can say dialog dot. So I can say dialog RunBase. I will define this as dialog equals to super, and this D should be actually capital. Alright, and now here inside my this dialog I can give a caption. I will say this is simple RunBase, and this should be fine. So I have given a name here, and I think we need to return this dialog. So first of all, let me return so that we will get out of this error. I can say return dialog. Alright, let me save this. Now we need to define a variable for our dialog. So I will say dialog field. I will say dialog cust group ID. So this will help me to get a dialog. So now I will start creating dialog. I will say dialog cust group equals to, inside my dialog I'm going to add a field. What field I'm going to add? I'm going to add my customer group ID, right? So I can say extended type str. Here I can put my cust group ID edt, and then if you see here we can put a label. So I will say cust group, just to differentiate the name. Alright, so we are done till here. Our dialog will be formed. Okay, so now once our dialog is filled, then we need a value from our dialog, right? So for that we are going to use this method named as let me write method public boolean get from dialog. I will close this, and what I will do, inside my cust group ID I will actually store the value now from my this field. I need the value to be stored here, right? So I can simply say value, and this is a return type, so I need to pass this as a true here. Alright, so we are done till here. So what it will do, till much score, it will display this cust group, and yeah, then we need to provide a value. But what we need, we also want to create a lookup as well. So by default we are not going to get a lookup. So for that I need to write my lookup code, but I need to write this lookup code at our this dialog field level. So for that what I will do, I'm going to declare a form build. I'll define an form build string control. My spelling is wrong here of build, so I will again write form build string control. Okay, then I will say my cust group control. Alright, so this control is ready now. We have simply defined a control here. Now if you see here this dialog field, from this my dialog field I can grab the control and I can store my control inside this new field. So what I mean to say, cust group control, the new control that I have created here, from my dialog group control I can assign this value control, I can assign this control here. Now once I have control, then I can use this register override method. Here I need to define two method what I'm going to override. So I can say method str, then here I need to define its type. So its type is form string control. Which method I am going to override? I am going to override my lookup method. Okay, now when you are modifying, now what would be the new method? So my new method should be method str. Here I will need to put my class name and my method name. Now we have not yet created a lookup code. So first of all, let me create a lookup code first. So what I will do, this might be complicated for you, but you need to understand. Okay, so let me do this. Public, I will say void, and let me say this as new lookup, the new method name, and I will get my form string control. So I can say my form string control here, because I will pass that particular parameter from above. For that I will need to write my method first. Now I've simply defined this method. I will write actual lookup code later. Now I can say here RunBase lookup, right? And this have method named as new lookup, right? New lookup, KUP. That's it. This is ready, and at the end I can simply pass this. All right, now this looks good. I will do auto hide. Okay, here we have some error. Okay, my class name is wrong, so I will say RunBase lookup. Now it should be correct. All right, so here I've used register override method. Now I will write actual logic here, like to create the lookup. Now to create our lookup, we can use our sysTableLookup. I can say sysTableLookup, and I will say equals to. I can again use the same class sysTableLookup. We have a function called new parameters. Inside this, I need to pass my table ID first. So I'm going to create a lookup for my curse group. So I will assign curse group here. And the second thing is that we need the form control. So this is already being passed through this function. So I can simply say form string control. All right. Now this lookup, now we need to tell system what all fields we need in our lookup. So I'm going to add a lookup field. I'll say again add lookup field. So what is my field? My field is I am interested in two fields. The first one would be curse group and the second would be its description. So here I will say curse group. Now the second field that I'm going to add in lookup is, I'll say field str. Let me say field str, and here I will write my description field, and let me add one more field. I'll say sysTableLookup dot add lookup field, and this time field str, and I can say cust group. And let me add this payment term ID field. Okay, so we have added 3 fields in our lookup. Again, if you want to also put filters in our lookup, we can pass a query. So basically what you can do, you can use this param query function, but for now I want all the data, so I can say perform all lookup, and that's it. So let me save this. I will do a build of this code and then we'll see. Okay, I think there is some error we got. Okay, let me wait for the error. Okay, so we get this error. Actually it was looking for field ID. So to get the field ID, I can simply say field num. So I will copy this to here as well. Control Z, Control Z. So I will paste same here. Oh, it's not pasting. Let me again copy this. Paste it. I'm going to paste it now. Okay, let me do Control V again. Or let me write, this is going to be a small only field num. Let me save this. And we'll do a build and we'll see how it works. Yeah guys, so the build is completed. So we are going to run our class. So our class name is RunBaseLookup. So I will run this class. Okay, so if you see here, we are getting the proper customer group, and now when I will click on this customer group, so it should show me all the customers that have this group ID. So if you see these 14 customers, they have this particular customer group. So similarly, let me again click here, and if in case if you will switch it to, let's say 100, so you will get those customers which have 100 as customer group. So click on add. We only have one customer named as 040 code. Yeah, so this was about how we can create a lookup. Let me go back to code and give you a brief overview again. As usual, we extended our RunBaseBatch. Then we, inside our main method, we simply created a construct and we create our prompt and run method. Now in this here we did our actual logic. So in your real case scenario, you are going to write more complex business logic, but these are just a sample demo videos. So we are more trying to understand the concept. So this is your actual main service logic, and here this is the main dialog method where you created a dialog. So let me again go back to, let me again click here. So you see this is a sample run base, so that is coming from this caption. And then we, inside our dialog, we added a field named as customer group. So this is this field customer group, and we assign this inside a dialog group field. So we define this dialog group field at the global level, and then from this dialog group field, we simply got the control, and we assigned our control inside our form build string control, because our form build string control have a lookup method. Let me come down here. So it have a lookup method, and this lookup method we want to override. We want to register override this method with our this RunBaseLookup class. We defined a new function here like new lookup, and we need to pass the object here. Now when we go back to this code, here we simply pass our form string control, because we need to know in which object we want to run this code. So that's why we pass the form string control here. Okay, so these are same. And then using our sysTableLookup, we told that we are going to we are going to use this new parameter function. Here we need to pass a table ID. I use this table name class group function. Then I need to pass my actual form string control here that I did. Then I added this field. So when you click here, you are seeing these three fields, right? Customer group, description, and terms of payment. Because I added three group field. And then at the end, I am simply saying perform lookup, like create the lookup. That's it. And in the middle, what I'm doing, I'm also assigning like my dialog field value to this global variable, to this customer group ID global variable. So thank you for watching this video.